And we are going to double block against that with First Strike. Good game. Whew, that had me worried. Oh man. We're going to give Metropolis Reformer lifelink. Alright, we have an Intrepid Adversary coming in. Giving +1. Okay, so this has a ward of 1 times 2. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We are going to Lightning Helix that. Yes, and we are going to pay the ward twice. Resolve, autopay, resolve, autopay. Alright, it's gone. We gain some more life. Alright, opponent goes to 8. That was an expensive Lightning Helix. But worth. It was worth to get that life gain off the table. Yep. Opponent saw the writing on the table. Or writing on the wall. That's the saying.
Hey everyone, so a little change of scenery. I recently cleaned out my office and converted it into a more suitable recording space. So, hey, how you doing? We are going to take a look at Typal for this week, and I'm going to show you guys 3 different Typal archetypes, starting this week with Angels. Angels is a little bit slower, but it has a lot of really good synergies if played in the right colors, and some of the better removal options. So let's go take a look at what we can expect from Mardu Angels.
Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to the deck tech for Marduing It with the Angels. This deck is a Angel Typal with the purpose of getting big, beefy, life-linking, flying Angels onto the board. It is a slower deck. It is more mid-rangey. You're not going to be calling this an aggro deck anytime soon. And it has a pretty decent removal suite and a little bit of card draw with the Celestis. So let's take a quick look at it. Angels, your game plan is going to be dropping Giada on 2 into Metropolis Reformer on 3, or the Celestis. And then you have Archangel Wrath on 4, Bonebringer Valkyrie on 5, as well as Lisa and Aurelia the Law Above on 5. Also, we have Steel Seraph, which can be played at turn 3 using the Prototype ability, or on 6 by casting it for its full size. Removal-wise, we're looking at 3 Cut Down, 3 Bitter Triumph, and 4 Lightning Helix. This deck has enough life gain to get yourself back into the game after taking a serious beating in the early game from the aggro decks. But all the removal package is on the light side, meaning like low mana cost. So we should be able to stave off initial aggressive outbursts enough to allow us to get back into the game with all of these life gain Angels. Now you take a look at here, you have Metropolis Reformer, which is going to prevent people from targeting you directly with direct damage, or with sacrifice effects, or with discard effects. Metropolis Reformer is really good at surprising people, because no one ever thinks about this card. And also, whenever it receives damage, you gain that much life. So if someone comes at you with a really big, nasty creature, you can just block it and trade, but gain some life. So you can keep yourself in the game with that. Archangel Wrath, everybody knows this. It shoots things when you pay the kicker cost, gain you a little bit of life, has fly and lifelink. Bonebringer Valkyrie is another underplayed Angel, but I like this one a lot, specifically because of the First Strike and lifelink. It has backup 1, which means it will put 1/1/1 counter and the rest of its text box onto another creature for 1 turn. So if you have, say for example, Lisa, Forgotten Archangel, say 4/5 flying lifelink, and you Bonebringer it, you can give this creature an additional +1 counter and the First Strike keyword. Or Aurelia can get the First Strike and lifelink keyword. Aside from that, we have Steel Seraph in combination with the Guardian of Giada, and this is a really good one because you can use Giada, get the Steel Seraph out on 3, with a potential +1 counter on it, start swinging with the Seraph on the next turn, and then use the Guardian of Agariper to flash the Steel Seraph out and then back in at end of turn. And when it comes back in, if you've cast it for its prototype cost, it will come back as its full size creature, meaning it will come back as a 5/4 instead of a 3/3. And also, if it comes back with Giada on the table, it will also come back with +1/+1 counters equal to the amount of angels you have on the table. Because you'll read Giada here, it says, each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Now, that doesn't mean when you cast it, it just means when it comes into play, period. So, that is why Steel Seraph and Guardian of Agariper with Giada on the table is a really good synergy. So, that's it. Let's take a look at the mana base real quick. 2 Igonjo, 6 plains, 2 swamp, Takanuma, 3 mountains, Sokanzan, 2 Caves of Koilos, 2 Restless Fortress, 2 Black Cleave Cliffs, 2 Restless Fence, 2 Battlefield Forge. So you got enough dual lands in here to make sure that you always hit your correct mana values, and also a couple man lands in here as well in the form of Restless Fortress and Black Cleave Cliffs. So there it is. That's the deck. Let's go play some games and see how well this deck does. Okay, so we have access to all 3 of our colors, which is fantastic. We'll probably play the Restless Vents on 1 and Plains on 2. So we'll keep this. Alright, our opponent is in red-white. Ooh, Black Cleave Cliffs. I think I want to play... I will play the Black Cleave first. That way we can play a cut down if we need to. Novice Inspector. Okay. So this is very likely Boros Convoke. Do we waste the cut down on that? I don't think so. Let's see. Let's go with the plains and the turn. I think we want to save our removal for higher priority targets. Alright, my turn. Alright, we will play the plains and start getting some creatures out there. Give them something to target with their removal. Yep. So I am expecting that or some other kind of pump ability to come out this turn. Let's go ahead and kill that. Alright, our turn. Let's go and play... I'm going to play the Caves of Koilos right now. And I'm going to go ahead and preemptively cut that down. I'm going to play another Steel Seraph. I'm going to target this one twice with both Seraphs to give both lifelink and vigilance. And attack for 3. And gain that life back. Alright, opponent plays the adventure side of Imidane's Recruiter, which is not good for us. Let's see here. Let's go and play the Restless Vents now. We'll play the Caves of Koilos right now, because I want to play the Steel Seraph. And still have mana available to use Bitter Triumph. Alright, next. Alright, target. Target. And target. Alright, we're going to go lifelink. Lifelink. Vigilance. We're going to attack with both of those. Alright, we go to 11, we go to 27. So we can survive a big nasty alpha strike from that Imidane's Recruiter. Alright. Okay. It is now a dude. What's it doing attacks? But it also wants to encounter target creature control. Okay. So let's wait for them to attack then. Oh, just doing that, huh? Alright. Well, we'll do this now. And discard a card. Alright, our turn. So go and play the Restless Fence now. Next. Target. Target. I'm going to give them both Vigilance. Alright, you go to 8. Pass the turn. So let's see what they do. Okay. They cycle their own Sogans on to get some more dudes. So he really wants to try and kill us off next turn if possible. He's trying to get a critical mass of dudes on the table. Is he gonna tap a whole bunch of creatures to give his Warden flying? Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Alright. Do one more. Yep. Ooh, he tapped his own dude. Ooh. That's not good for you. I probably would not have done that. Because now you gave me the ability to just win the game. I don't think he saw that. Well, good game for us. Let that be a lesson. Don't tap out. Okay, so this one is a little iffy. We got 2 lands, but we don't have red. We do have black, though. So we can play Giada and have some mana up for, like, removal. But we don't really have any, like, follow-through after Giada. Unless we draw an additional land so that we can play Giada into Archangel. But we do have that removal, though. So, could be good. We do get to draw. Oh, wait, no, we don't, because we were actually going first for once. Let's give it a shot. Worst that could happen is we could lose the game. So I think we'll play the Restless Fortress on 1 and the Plains on 2, so we can play Giada. Alright, our opponent played a Shattered Sanctum, so we go Plains, we go Giada. And we'll see if our opponent removes our creature or not. If they do, that could really screw us. Oh, okay. I'm going to Deep Cavern, and take one of my removal spells. Okay. I guess they saw all that removal and went, no thank you. That's too funny. Okay. So we do have access to all 3 colors this time. We have Bitter Triumph, we have the Iron Crag, Giada, Steel Seraph. This actually looks half decent, so I think I'll keep it. And we even get to go first. How do you like that? Alright, play the Black Cleave on 1 and the Hygonja on 2, unless we draw a better land. Okay, so we are up against Soldiers, it appears. So let's go and play that, and we'll play a Giada. Alright, opponent plays a second Plains, making me think that we are up against Mono White. Like Copper, yes, we are definitely against Mono White. Alright, let's go ahead and play the Restless Fence, and we'll play... yeah, that's right. Okay, so because Giada has Vigilance, we can swing for 2 to start. And then we can tap it to play the Metropolis Reformer. And Metropolis Reformer comes in as a 3/4. Alright, third Plains. I'm expecting some form of exile-based removal now. Okay, they're coming at me with both. Let's see here. Okay, so if they have 3 mana available, what would they play at instant speed to give a significant bonus? I don't know, and I don't want to find out. So we'll take the damage. Yeah, they play another Copper Code. Alright, my turn. We're going to play this right here. I'm going to play an Iron Crag. And then I'm going to play a Steel Seraph. We're going to give Metropolis Reformer lifelink. And then we're going to attack for 3. It's a very nice looking 5/5 Steel Seraph. Alright, we have an Intrepid Adversary coming in, giving +1. Yeah, we'll block. We gain some life from that dying. Okay, so this has a ward of 1 times 2. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We are going to Lightning Helix that. Yes, and we are going to pay the ward twice. Resolve, autopay, resolve, autopay. Alright, it's gone. We gain some more life. And this is going to give Vigilance to the Steel Seraph. We have enough life as it is right now. Alright, opponent goes to 8. That was an expensive Lightning Helix. But worth. It was worth to get that life gain off the table. Yep. Opponent saw the writing on the table. Or writing on the wall. That's the thing. Okay, what do we have here? So we have a Restless Fortress and a Sokenson. Now the Restless Fortress comes into play tapped, so we can play Giada on 2, and potentially Steel Seraph on 3, provided my Giada doesn't get removed. So let's give it a shot and see if we can get there. Alright, we go first. Restless Fortress on 1. Okay, we are up against Red-Green with an Evolving Adaptive. Interesting. Planes into Giada. I really like Giada. Like as a character, it's just a really cool character. Yeah, there it is. I expected that. But at least we got our 3 lands, so we can play a Steel Seraph without Giada's help. Hopefully they don't have a second Lightning Blast. And they do. Damn it. Is what it is, I guess. Yep, and he pass. Yes, we are out of stuff to do until we get some more mana. Resolve. Pass. Alright, blast it. Gain 3 life, take 2 damage, go to 19. Alright, there's another land. Still 1 off, and can't animate my land either. This is a fairly slow deck, unfortunately. Alright, they play Kumano. I take 1 damage from Kumano faces Kakazan. And another Kumano faces Kakazan. Alright. Pass. Alright, well, let's deal with this now. The next creature that comes out is going to be pretty nasty. And we're stuck on 4 lands with a bunch of 5-drops in hand. Not good. Yikes. Well, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. Jesus. 6 damage. Yep. 6 damage and no way to deal with it. Well, there's something. So, we'll go play Lisa. Maybe this can stem the tide a little bit, I hope. Alright. Etching comes in. Plays a land tapped, thankfully. Plays Atali's Favor. Discover 3. He gets another Kamana Faces Kakazan. Alright, go to 13. Alright. We're gonna block this. We're gonna take a lot of damage. Go to 5. Then gain 4 health through Lisa, thankfully. Okay, I think we are going to be okay. Let's go ahead and play Boonbringer. It's gonna give a +1 here. And we're gonna attack for 5. Bink. Alright, we're back up to 14. I think this is going to allow us to stabilize. Because if he comes at me with that Etching of Kamano, as well as the Yavimaya Iconoclast. Ooh, there's a squee. He's going all out. Alright, come at me. Alright, block that. Ow. Big damage. Alright, let's go here. So, let's go ahead and say... Do you want to play the other one? Yeah, we pretty much kind of have to at this point. Alright, give another +1 here. Next. Attack with Lisa. Okay. Gain some of that health back. And we are just going to hang on to that cut down for now. Just in case they play something else that needs to be dealt with immediately. Okay. The Feldon will receive the cut down. Okay. So we're going to cut down here. And we are going to double block against that with First Strike. Good game. Whew, that had me worried. Oh man. Good job, Life Gain Angels. Whew. Okay, we played our games and we are back with the post-game wrap-up, and I have a few thoughts concerning the speed of this deck more than anything. Like, the power of the deck is absolutely there, but it's the speed at which you get there can be pretty troublesome, especially with the fact that this deck doesn't really have a whole lot of good rebuild in it. This is a deck that you probably want to play against other mid-range decks. Playing against a control deck that has a lot of board wipes in it, this deck is going to suffer. Against other aggressive decks, this deck will still have game, as you can get back into the game with all of the life-linking angels that are in it. But as far as control, this deck is probably going to suffer. That's probably going to be like your worst matchups. What I do like about this deck is the Giada into the Reformer or the Steel Seraph, and then into something like Boonbringer Valkyrie or Guardian of Giripur. I really like that play pattern. It plays really well. And Lisa and Aurelia being at your top end are pretty strong angels to finish the game out with. Mana-wise, the mana base we might want to work on just a little bit. Maybe move these Black Cleave Cliffs out in favor of a couple more red-white lands instead of a red-black, just because there's only like a couple cards in here that require red and a couple that require black. Your white is something you pretty much want to hit for the first 3 turns. And this being in here might cause you a problem. It's great if you have like a bunch of removal in your hand to begin the game with, but if, say for example, you have like a Steel Seraph or an Archangel Wrath in your opening hand, and you don't have 2 white mana sources, that can be a little troubling. You might end up taking more mulligans based off of your mana base alone. Aside from that, the Celestis and the Iron Crag are pretty good ramp effects to help you get to that 5 mana sweet spot to get to your top end. The removal is great. The removal is really good. 3 Cut Down, 3 Bitter Triumph, and 4 Lightning Helix will be enough in most cases to handle any situation. Aside from that, might want to work on the numbers with the 5-drops, just because there's 6 5-drops, 2 Boonbringers, 2 Lisa, and 2 Aurelia. It might be a little bit much. You might go down 1 on Aurelia or 1 on Lisa, depending on how you feel about both those cards. The real heavy hitters in this deck are the Giada, the Steel Seraph, and surprisingly, the Metropolis Reformer is really, really good. Like, I've had a lot of people play a Liliana into Metropolis Reformer, expecting to be able to target me for a creature sacrifice, and then just have to fall back on the other ability, making both players discard, because they couldn't target me with Metropolis Reformer on the table. So that is definitely something to consider. So that's pretty much my only thoughts on the deck, is that it can be a little slow. You can speed this deck up a bit if you break out of the tribal mindset of the deck. You could probably add in some of the... Let me take a quick look. It's a 1-drop white creature. I can't remember the name of it, but we will find it real quick for you. 1-drop creature. Where is it? There it is. Might want to bring in some Lunarch Veterans. The Lunarch Veteran will be really good at having a 1-drop to play into Giada, just to give yourself a little bit of life gain. Aside from that, maybe, and this is a big maybe, you might want to also run... Where is it? There it is. Greedy Freebooter. Greedy Freebooter is a really good creature for opening up the game, just because it gives you a treasure token when it dies. But without a relevant way to like sacrifice this to something else, it's not going to be as well positioned as the Lunarch Veteran. So we might want to be running the Lunarch Veteran in the 1-drop spot if you want to speed this deck up a little bit. If you're happy with the slower, more mid-range pace of the deck, then keep it as is. Go play some games and see how it works out for you. So that's it. That's the deck. Those are my thoughts on it. I will leave a link to the deck list in the description box down below, so you can take it out for a spin yourself if this looks interesting to you. And now that you've seen it, go play some games. Take care of yourselves.